Welcome everyone to Energy Medicine, a Doc of Detox show. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and my co-host today is Dr. Marcel Wolfe. Today's topic is called A New Year, a New Vibration. It's all about the flow of energy. But before we start, I would like to let everyone know that if you can't watch our shows live, you can go to docofdetoxshow.com or to our Doc of Detox page on YouTube. And if you go to the Doc of Detox page on YouTube, you can actually share this with other people who don't speak English, any other language in the world. And they can actually, if you look at the icon down in the corner, they can change the language to the actually icon. They can change the language to the language that they speak, okay? And they can actually slow down the verbiage so that they can read along as fast as they would like, okay? Now, of course, we want you to know that you can always go to Facebook and watch the shows. Now, everybody out there that is not on Facebook, a lot of people have cut themselves off from Facebook, but I want you to understand something. If you decide to come on Dr. Darrell Wolfe Facebook page, I am putting information on there that is so valuable, and it's almost every day, okay? So I'm not trying to make you addicted to Facebook. I know you probably said, I've had enough of Facebook, but understand it's a way that we actually get information out to keep you posted on how to respect, protect, and love yourself and really move forward with creating that perfect day. Okay? So coming up Wednesday, January the 30th at 3 p.m. is Doc Talk. And on that show, I'm going to have Dr. Veronique from Breast Cancer Conqueror. Okay? You're not going to want to miss this. She is an amazing person. She's a beautiful human being, and she's really got it down when it comes to breast cancer. She suffered from breast cancer, but she was able to overcome it naturally. So I think you're going to really love to hear her story, all right? Because this is a hero story, okay? And then we have returning for this year, Pet Star with Dr. Marlene Siegel, Thursday, January 31st. How to identify GMOs and pesticides in pet food, okay? And then Dr. Veronique will be interviewing me on her podcast, February the 4th. We will provide the link on Facebook for everyone. If you want to go to Facebook, you can find out how to listen to that podcast. Braveheart Nation is returning Tuesday, February the 5th, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then Wednesday, February the 6th, for all you New World practitioners that have taken my training, you'll want to not miss this show. We're going to have Joshua coming on, and he's going to be talking about the humic fulvic products. We're going to talk about how you can, the membership for the World Organization of Natural Medicine, how you can join that as well. And we're going to be talking about the different platforms. And also, we're going to be rolling out a new affiliate program, okay? Next is Doc Talk Wednesday, February 13th. And that's going to be called Blue Light 5G Toxicity. You're not going to want to miss this show because guess what? You can see I've got my Tesla glasses here. I'm going to be putting them on in a few minutes because I'm not going to do this whole show today and get all this blue light hitting my eyes, because whether you want to believe it or not, it's the incandescent lighting, it's your iPhones, it's your LED TVs, it's going shopping at the mall, in the supermarket, or anywhere else. And guess what? It's a conspiracy. Okay, we're talking about cataracts, glaucoma, acute macular degeneration, myopia. It's all caused from this blue light, and they didn't have to make it, but they did, and you're going to find out why they call the blue light and 5G, okay, the harvest period, because they're going to harvest your money and they're going to harvest your health. Don't miss this show on February the 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and if you do, you know where to go to see it. All right, and on February the 20th, we'll be doing another New World practitioner, okay? All right, Thursday, February the 28th, what really goes into your pet foods? Don't miss it, guys. All right, so today we have Dr. Marcel Wolfe, and we're going to let him kick it off. Go ahead.
Thanks, Darrell. Just want to say thanks for everybody for showing up. We're actually getting right now probably the most severe snowstorm that we've had so far this year. Darrell, I like your shirt. It reminds me of the 70s. I guess what's old is new again.
Well, there you go. I just can't give up the polyester suits and all that, the old disco, right?
Right.
Marcel, do you remember when they used to call me Disco Darrell?
Uh,
Well, I'm making a comeback. I'm making a
okay.
comeback.
Excellent.
All
Uh,
right. Okay,
so
so where are we going here?
we're going to start with the Canadian Cancer Society on their own website, which is great. Everybody can check this out for themselves. Um, yeah, this I wanted to start with this today because it just tells us, you know,
Where we're
just
going. It tells us
yeah,
where we're
exactly,
going.
and you know,
And the
it's
gig is up, right? The gig is up.
the gig is up,
Gig is up.
and we're frequency beings, not chemical beings, and so they're actually stating here. I'm going to read it actually
Go
for you.
ahead.
Energy therapies. Energy therapies are also called biofield therapies. They are based on the belief that there are energy fields flowing through and around your body. When the energy is flowing freely through the body, you have good emotional, physical, and spiritual health. When you are ill, the energy flow is blocked. So it's perfect for what we're talking about today.
And if
And
I
so
can
they go beyond that. Yeah.
go ahead, Marcel. I'll let you finish.
They've gone now way beyond that. Now they're recognizing Reiki. They're recognizing therapeutic touch. They're actually saying here practitioners move their hands just above the body to find blockages and remove harmful energies and replace it with their own healthy energy. They also say that healing touch uses gentle touch on the body to help it heal its own energy fields. They're talking also about recognizing magnetic healing therapy. Magnets help to unblock, again, energy flow around the body. Your body fields to change, move, or unblock the energy flow in your body. Then they go on to say here some studies show that people feel energy therapy treatment improves the quality of life. And so that's what it's all about. It's enhanced self care. Many people say that they feel very relaxed, calm, and peaceful after energy therapy sessions. More research is needed. So, it's something that was considered airy fairy gobbledygook, voodoo. But as Einstein told us a long time ago, this is not psychology, philosophy. This is physics, quantum physics, which is the mother of all science. So it's a huge revolution. We're going to see a lot more with regards to energy medicine. It was actually listening to Bruce Lipton, who wrote the book Biology of Belief, and he was saying that they've now shown that energy information is 100 times more efficient than chemical. Um, it's yeah. So it's the cat's out of the bag, so to speak. So 100 times more. That means that it's actually 1,000% more effective than chemical signaling.
So basically what it's coming down to is that your thoughts are 100 times more powerful than any drug that you're ever going to be prescribed. And the other thing is here, whether people want to get this or not, and they're still bucking it, is but take a look at let's take a look at the cancer thing. Right off the bat, nobody wants to take a look at what a tumor is made out of. It's made out of calcification, crystallization, and scar tissue formation. But what they don't want to look at is it's trapped energy. It's trapped emotions. But you know what? The body creates this to store those trapped emotions until you want to deal with them. And Marcel, I'm going to let you get right back to this. But the reality is, and I've been going on about this for a long time, and a lot of different people have problems with this, and some religious beliefs have problems with this, and that is unconditional love. Until you have unconditional love, which is total love for yourself, then you're not going to have total healing. And love is the greatest vibration, but self-love is the cure. And until we look at that, and then when we look at it on a physical level, I've talked to a lot of natural doctors, medical doctors that deal with cancer. And, I talked to a doctor just even 6 months ago, and he's been in the business over 30 years, and he didn't realize that a tumor, are you ready for this? That a tumor, yes, it has mutated cells in it, but the largest percentage of it is just calcification, crystallization, and scar tissue formation, which myself and my master trainers were able to pull actually these fibroids, these tumors apart. And sometimes in 1 hour, we can pull them apart by 30% and reduce them. So, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to really take a look at frequencies, vibrations, and what happens, because thought form becomes physical form, and thoughts are frequencies. And then even if you do change your thoughts, you better get in there and pull this beef jerky apart that's causing these physical blocks, that stops these energy blocks or slows your energy in the body. Anyways, I'll let you take it away, Marcel.
Yeah, so emotion is energy in motion. So now we're realizing the power of thought, of words. For instance, love has an energy level of 528 hertz and has actually been shown to be the frequency to repair DNA. So this is actually one of the slides that I present as the time.
Marcel, we're going to take a quick break here, everyone. So if you could just hold on, we have a little bit of technical difficulty. We'll be right back. Thank you. There you go. We're back. Thanks for your patience. And this is why I like nature made, because man made, well, sometimes it can break real easy. Go ahead, Marcel.
Yeah, so I was just saying that first item I was talking about is one of the slides I call "The Tide is Turning." The second one features the Princess Margaret Hospital, where they're actually talking about actually a year ago. It actually started now as of December, just past a month ago, that they're now using light and heat for cancer. They're actually describing it here. We're now seeing that the fantasy become very much the reality if we push hard enough. And the scientist who's heading this is actually holding an image between his hands, which is actually not an actual thing. It's just an image of what we call organized light. So we can use a lot of different things, from organized light to tapping to Wolfe deep tissue, to so many things under the holistic umbrella that actually help to rebalance and to open up that energy flow, which is so important that we're talking about today.
And listen, everyone, so the phone number here is for the show is 888-570-9445. Call us with your questions, or if you've got something to say, or if you'd like to challenge us on our views, please call in, okay? This is your show. This is your time to shine. So feel free to call us, okay? Marcel?
Yeah, so things are really changing. Like yesterday, I actually heard on CBC radio here in Toronto that the University of Toronto is actually now giving medical students 1 full week of a nutritional course. Now, they're not the first to do that in North America. Actually, it was Harvard. They have something called Harvard Healthy Kitchens. But to go from, 1 hour to 1 week,
I think
things are changing.
Actually, I saw a statistic. It was 19 hours. That was the average between medical schools.
Yeah, so now it's a full week.
So now we go from 19, now we've doubled it. So now we've got maybe a 40-hour week of nutrition, which means that every layperson out there that has read a few health books has more knowledge than the medical doctors still. And I'm not putting them down, okay, but let's not jump all over this thing. Just because they almost doubled the hours, or they did double the hours, 40 hours is nothing, okay? Especially when you've learned that diet has nothing to do with health. Detoxification is a word you don't talk about. And that the large intestine, when a person looks like they're 9 months pregnant and they come in your office, you tell them to lose weight instead of waste. Anyways, go ahead, Marcel.
Yes. So people are wondering, well, how is it that these organizations, including the Canadian Cancer Society, are now jumping on board? Well, we realize that these institutions and organizations depend upon public funding and support. Now, they have to be seen as actually working in our best interest. If not, okay, so, without money, of course, and support, their whole thing is over. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. And,
Well,
you
it's
know,
pretty exciting, Marcel, but the thing is they don't state these things until they go. Everybody else already realizes this. We've got our pants pulled down here, so we better look like we're on board here. It's the same thing. Do you remember, Marcel, when we were back in Toronto at the clinic, and they came out, and the cancer association came out and said, yes, broccoli can help fend off cancer. I mean, everybody knew that. Okay, so there, Marcel, there's no major breakthroughs. So let's not kid anybody out there. The pink ribbon campaign is the strongest thing in the world. And the more we jump for it, run for it, swim for it, the more money they make. And the more they talk about cancer, the more money they make. Okay, because when Nixon actually campaigned, it started his campaign against cancer, it wasn't to end cancer. It was to get the whole of North America involved in donating their time, money, and their emotions. And the other thing is guess what? If I can say something to everybody out there, and I'm not trying to steal this right now, but if you have to run for it, jump for it, swim for it, that means that they absolutely have no answers. So, we're all searching for the answer for cancer. Meanwhile, these medical guys, okay, they have no answers at all. So they've got us running, jumping, swimming, cutting our hair, and doing every other crazy thing. Now think about it. In a world where we can create the most beautiful things and we know that nature holds all the answers, we don't have an answer for cancer. So we're not talking about any major breakthroughs. It's just, it's called a chess game. Anyways, Marcel, please go ahead.
so another slide that I have in this series of The Tide is Turning is actually a front cover of the Scientific America magazine, and it talks about electrical cures. That was March 2015. The science journal Scientific America carried a cover article declaring that bioelectrical medicine, as they were calling it, could create an off switch for arthritis, diabetes, and even cancer. GlaxoSmithKline has invested 50 million in researching bioelectrical medicine. That probably happened, of course, because they believe that this is the future. So
Well, epigenetics, everybody's talking about it. You can switch it on or switch it off. If you smile, you can up your pH. If you smile, it actually reflects. They know that if you smile, it actually turns the light on and helps the mitochondria actually spin faster and more efficiently just by smiling. So, they're realizing this, and so is everyone else.
and then the next slide that I have in the presentation is actually showing where um, basically the pharmaceutical company actually shut down um, 300 scientists who were looking for a cure for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So, well, why would that happen now? Well, it's because information's getting out faster, quicker than ever before. People learning about things like, oh, coconut oil, 2 tablespoons twice a day has the ability to not only reverse but stop these diseases. So basically, that doesn't leave a market for them. And that's the reason why they actually shut down this entire division looking for a drug for these two diseases.
What about lemon seeds? I mean, it's as simple as that, right?
Well, lemon, what is it? The highest plant source of lithium, which has the ability to, restore brain even at 80, and which is really exciting we're finding even with light therapy and these other things that age is not a limitation.
That's right. And here's the deal. We find that most people, they're living longer, but basically they're dying longer and they're living shorter. And that doesn't have to happen. As long as you're going to be part of the majority, you'll be a statistic. Once you break away from the majority, you're no longer a statistic. Once you actually learn how to love, honor, respect, and protect yourself and know that that's first and foremost, then you become the light.
Yeah, we want everybody to live fruitful, productive, and enjoyable lives. And so, we already have people that, are doing what they need to do. And I've got a particular friend who's now 89 years old, and she said she's now healthier than she's ever been in her entire life. So she actually had a situation of digestive disorder and also glaucoma. And by using a frequency energy, um, thing that we have here, those problems are no longer issues. So well, like I said earlier, whether it's tapping or deep tissue, we have issues in the tissues, as they say. And, with regards to emotion, um, there's another saying too, and that is that where the mind goes, the energy flows, and blood, tissue, and bone follow. So Einstein actually tried to help us, on this journey of understanding frequency medicine back, what, 50, 100 years ago with Einstein, Tesla. And Einstein said the field is everything. He also said that frequency trumps chemistry and frequency is everything. So um, do we doubt what he said? No. I mean, now with quantum physics, we're measurable quantitative ability, and for energy medicine now they've back in 2016 they had over 150 of what they call gold standard double blind crossover studies. And of course, it's exploded since then. So everybody is moving in this direction. And so, if you're just hearing this for the first time, you can jump on the internet and you can listen to one of my favorite videos is called The Field, Exploring Energy and Consciousness. And you'll hear about people like Dr. Bruce Lipton and also Lynn McTaggart, and a lot of other really great people. So I urge you to get involved in what we call enhanced self care. People are starting to realize that, yeah, their own best interests are served by themselves. And so you need to take responsibility, as Darrell's been saying for decades, and start doing your own research. Start getting the confidence. Whether it's something as simple as coconut oil or tapping or doing deep tissue or doing light therapy or magnets or Reiki. All these things, have had evidence for some of them for 5,000 years. So it's old wisdom now that's actually being getting more credibility with all these measurable um, scientific evidence that we now have that we never had before.
So here's the deal. I'd like everybody to consider taking a look at going to self-care instead of healthcare. I'd like everybody to consider going, not leaving love alone, but really looking at self-love to become that light, to become that guide, to share that infinite potential that you have inside yourself. And then I want everyone to think about this. I hope you understand that when you drink and you eat, the drink and the food, what it is communication. It's information that's locked in the food and the drink. So if it's man-made, it's going to be miscommunication, misinformation. And if it's nature-made, it will be information and communication that your cells need so that they can do what they need to do. Because it's that trapped light and those trapped frequencies in the drink, in the food. That's why we do it. And another thing too, whether you want to believe this or not, most of your energy doesn't come from your drink and your food. We need it. Yes, we need it because we're physical human beings And I'll just let you decide where you think that comes from. It's your emotions. It's the image you have for yourself and the world. What is the real image you have for the world? Is it a scary place, fearful place? Is the image you have for yourself less than amazing, less than a miracle, less than, you are the greatest thing that was created? If it's less than that, then you are less than that.
Yeah, so just recently, we had, what was it, the staff member from the United Nations complaining officially about 5G. Matter of fact, I was just out at Costco before we started this podcast, and while picking up my new glasses, I was asking the lady behind the desk. Of course, everybody uses Wi-Fi, and I was telling her that she needs to turn it off. It's another form of energy which we refer to as alien. So all the native energies are those that we've evolved and adapted to and now are dependent upon. And most people haven't got a clue as to just, what Wi-Fi represents in terms of energy. And so I just give them the example. Well, the heart likes 8 cycles per second, 8 hertz. And most of what we're exposed to in our environment is anywhere from zero point 0.5 to 300. So what's a gig? Oh, a gig is a billion cycles per second. So 2.5 is 2.5 billion. And so 4 is 4 billion. And the new 5G is said to actually not be 5 billion cycles per second, but actually from anywhere from 8 to 24. So yeah, these are not conducive to your health.
And also 5G is a cumulative, and it's also said it's not 5G. It's over 100G.
Right.
They're not,
Yeah, so
it can be 120G. So gee whiz, okay? What's option A? What's option B? Well, option A is you've got to get away from 5G, or you've got to get devices that are going to protect you on a personal level and protect your home, which I'm going to be talking about in my Blue Light 5G lecture. And understand something, that's coming up in 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
yeah. So we have to be more mindful. That's, two really popular terms are, matter, frequency matter, flow of energy matters, and also the word mindful is being used a lot today. It's actually having a conscious awareness and not just taking at face value when somebody says that there's no harm in using this or that. So it's more of a responsibility for ourselves. I'll give you a good example. Our parents, just like most parents, they do the best they possibly can with the information that they were given. But now when we look back at what they were allowing to happen, it's just like, well, what were they thinking? Well, based on the information that they had, they made rational decisions. Looking at it today, it looks completely irrational. Another good example, my grandfather, who actually had a lung condition, and was told by his doctor that actually smoking a cigarette would be good exercise for his lungs. So we need to look a little deeper, and it's important to have the ability to ask questions of anyone that provides information.
Well, what about Dad and his heating blanket, Marcel? I mean, you told him, I told him that the heating blanket that he was plugging in was the most dangerous thing he could do. He asked his medical doctor, and he said, no, they don't know what they're talking about. So,
And that's actually part of my presentation. I have a picture of Dad, and with that quote that he used in answering us, saying they wouldn't sell it if it wasn't safe. Of course, he acquired acute leukemia, and that's how he passed. And we see the direct correlation between being exposed to energy fields from something like an electric blanket, which they're still selling today. So it's going to take an awareness level, a conscious level, before they take such things off the market. Whether it's asbestos, thalidomide babies, mercury fillings. It's too bad, though, that a lot of people have to suffer before we actually get to, governments and organizations making decisions.
and
But I
understand
think,
something too, that when the government passes something and it's CSA approval, Well, they're just telling you that the unit won't go on fire. They're not telling you that it's going to make your body go on fire, because understand something. Your government has nothing to do with health. They have nothing to do with health, and I'm not condemning them, not trying to talk down on them, but it really truly is your responsibility. Eh, Marcel?
Yeah, it's I tell people, during presentations, how bad does it have to get? I mean, cancer is now 1 out of 2 people. Does it have to be 100% of everyone getting cancer before we finally say, okay, we need to stop and examine what it is that we're doing that is contributing toward this problem?
Yeah, but you're only going to get cancer if you follow the herd. We already know that. So
Hmm.
look at the majority. I mean, 8 out of 10 people have a debilitating disease today, and I said disease. So we already know that the majority of the population, way more than 80%, are living the way that everybody else is living. So, they're statistically, you have a 1 in 2 chance of getting cancer. That's not true. I don't statistically have a chance of anything, because I don't do anything like the majority does. I'm outside the box. Okay, for one thing, if it's promoted by the government, promoted by corporations, I'm not going to have anything to do with it anyways. Right off the bat, I have a distrust, a distaste. Okay, if somebody told me that it's straight from the farmer's field and I could see him grow it, and that's when you trust. And you know what? It's not like you're going to go around not trusting your world and living in fear. It's just that you're going to be mindful. Mindful of what? Mindful of respecting and loving yourself enough, okay? And knowing what your needs are, and knowing actually what vibrates at the level of correction, harmony.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I say, you can drive a car without knowing how to fix it. But I wouldn't suggest that you treat your life that way. It's much better to actually put your energy and time into prevention, so that you're not going to ever get to a state of having to recover from some, chronic illness. So, yeah, I think that we're in an exciting time, that everything is shifting now into energy medicine. And, that one statement that I made earlier, knowing that it's 100 times more efficient than chemical signals, that alone should actually get people to, think about it twice, and have a serious look at, all the evidence now that is available to us in terms of seeing how credible all of this is.
Yes, we're in an incredible time right now. I mean, they can say that the world's getting more toxic and that. So, you do have to become more mindful, and you've got to start making really good decisions. Like, if they put 5G in this neighborhood, we're gone. We will move right away. There'll be no, oh well, let's weigh this thing out. We're not going to do that. We will move right away. And then we have to have Wi-Fi in the clinic, but the Wi-Fi goes off every night, and then it comes on in the morning. And then we also have what's called Dock of Detox Wi-Fi, which is a crystal modulator that actually harmonizes all the frequencies in the clinic, in our home. So you've got to take steps if you want, if you want to play with this new telecommunication and all these new electronics, then you've got to protect yourself. Just like driving a car, you got to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, I actually took a 2-year course and became a building biologist, and spent thousands of dollars on meters. And, thank God, actually, even in that field, the meters are becoming a lot more easier to use, and actually a lot less expensive. So, but
Marcel, maybe you could talk about the meters and maybe tell them where they could maybe purchase a meter if they wanted to check something out. I mean, a lot of people, if they can see it, feel it, touch it, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a little meter. It's about this size, and it's actually called Safe and Sound. And for radio frequencies, which is the biggest part of the problem right now, it gives you an audible as well as a color reading. So if you're in the green, you're good to go. And actually, in our house, we're always in the green, even though we're surrounded by Wi-Fi and 5G and all the rest of it. Now I actually have all of the our internet actually plugged into the electrical wiring in the house, so we're piggybacking on the electrical wiring so that we're not being fried with Wi-Fi, and so that's hardwired, and it's not that expensive. It's actually more secure. It's faster. It's safer. Um, but how do you know if these things that you're doing, whether it's black carbon paint or you know material with silver or whatever, you're not going to know whether or not what you're doing is effective unless you have a meter. And now this little meter called Safe and Sound, it's like $217, something like that, Canadian. And you can find it at Safe Living Technologies, that's slt.ca. And if you use the code, I think it's Freak, FREQ, 10, you actually get this meter at a 10% discount. And by the way, the people at Safe Living Technologies, um, they are incredible. They've got all kinds of great videos and education, so that you can see exactly how to use these meters. And now, as I say, they're getting a lot more simple and a lot more affordable for everyone. And this little meter, I carry it around and I go into the bank just to, you know, enlighten people, or at the grocery store, or at the Home Depot, or whatever. I've got meters that measure the flicker in lights so I can tell which lights are good and which aren't. We have to consider all these things: indoor lighting, air, water. These are situations that our grandparents never had to even look at. But now, yeah, I think life is definitely much more difficult, much more complex. But the other side of the page is that we have all these exciting things happening as long as you are, participating in your own what we call enhanced self care.
Yeah, the more you remove yourself from nature, the more you need to buy these protective devices, and the more you need to monitor these things that are going on. You know, in in Asia right now, the average 25-year-old has adult onset diabetes, all from looking at their phone, all from being on a computer, all from doing all this blue light, and that's a fact. Um, the percentage of younger adults that are getting diabetes, it's blowing through the roof because of blue light and actually 5G. And people don't think about that. They think it's some kind of diet thing or some hereditary thing. And here it is, something that is most of the time just invisible.
Yeah, so as you said earlier, it's a cumulative, and it's definitely not conducive to your health. And you can do something as simple as like dark field microscopy blood analysis before and after being exposed to this type of energy, and see a huge change at the level of your blood. But yet you may have not actually noticed anything. It's like the frog in the pot. You won't know it until something serious has manifested into the physical being. So, yeah, we urge everybody, frequency is the language of nature. And I think it's really important for people to try and learn this language as soon as possible.
And if you want,
It's just going to enrich their lives.
yeah, and if you want to try something, uh, do get a live blood cell test, and then put these Tesla Lightwear on that you can see on our website, and then get a live blood cell test. And I think you're going to be completely amazed because
Yeah.
it actually doesn't block the negative light. It actually converts it into frequencies, and into frequencies that heal, into light that heals. You'll feel it. You feel a sense of peace come over your whole body. So you can know when things are working when you feel a sense of peace. You may not have the measurement to measure them, but if you're quiet, you can feel that subtleness come over you. Hey, Marcel?
Yeah, we've got some pretty interesting things happening. We're working with holistic dentists, holistic chiropractors, and they've been doing dowsing for years, and they're all connected. In terms of using the Tesla glasses and the Bioptron polarized light, and they're seeing incredible results. Something that's very at the beginning stages, very preliminary. Now, we're looking at doing studies to verify our first findings, but um, a friend of mine who is a holistic dentist took a client, did some muscle testing, and then put a vial of mercury in her pocket. And of course, she tested weak. Then put the test glasses on the same person with the vial of mercury in her pocket, and she tested stronger than what she had tested in the beginning with nothing exposed. So that's pretty exciting, but we'll see where that goes. We want to do the studies first before we can actually,
No, it's
confirm that
okay.
this is the actual results that we're getting just by using the Tesla lightwear glasses.
Yeah, it really does start there. We have a caller. Caller, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Hey, hi, Dr. Wolf. Can you
Hi.
please tell us about that Taurus field that will help mitigate the 5G and where we
Yeah,
can get that?
I will. You can actually get it from us. It'll right now we're just you'll see it on our website. All you have to do is just go to EMF and then look up Wi-Fi, and then also I just want everybody to know something. We have an amazing personal protector, and for when you leave the house, when you're in the office, when you go out, and we'll have that. Let me see, it's 1st of February. So in no more than 3 months from now, we'll have it. And the reason why we don't have it is because it had to be reformulated because it was 3G, right? Well, guess what? Now with 5G coming, it had to be reformulated so that it would actually work and stand up to it. And so, and they're actually doing a lot of work with it because we're talking about more than 5G. 5G, guys, it's not 5G. They call it 5G, but it's beyond 5G. So they've been doing their testings, and it's fine, and they're finding out that this new personal device, okay, protector, is going to work against 5G. So, but just you have to give me about 6 weeks to 3 months before we'll have it back up on our website. But you go to EMF on our website, and you'll see Doc of Detox Wi-Fi, and it'll be there. Okay?
So it's is it from Germany?
No, it's not. It's not from Germany.
Okay, good.
No.
Because I don't want that product from Germany. Can I share something about 5G
Yes,
and
please. I'd love to hear it.
how wicked? Okay, in Santa Rosa, California, about 2 years ago, they had the fire through the wine country. Do you remember? Do you recall?
Yep.
2 weeks before that fire, guess what happened to Pacific Gas and Electric power grid? It almost collapsed. Why would what could pull so much energy away from the power grid to almost cause it to collapse? I'll tell you, it was Verizon Wireless's launch of 5G. That
That's
fire that
you're
took
not
place
yeah,
in
you're
Santa
not the only
Rosa.
one. I've heard about this. Even Jack Cruz talks about this. So lots of people are saying that this was just not a coincidence.
It was an electromagnetic fire
Yeah.
that jumped over trees because trees were grounded, and it went after cars and houses that weren't grounded.
Boom.
Yeah,
Another
actually, I
thing
was
about
saying
the
that
5G
words
is it's
like
so unstable,
coincidence
and it
and fluke.
resonates at 60 hertz, which is the frequency of the body's respiration oxygenation frequency. It's going to disrupt our ability to oxygenate. This 5G is almost like a death grid that's not by accident, that's by design.
That's right. And guess what? This 5G and the blue light together, you know what corporations are calling it? The harvest. Yeah.
Yeah, not good. It makes me furious. Actually, it makes me so angry.
Well, no, no, no. You can't let that happen to you because I'll tell you something. Here's what you have to do. You have to move, and I'll tell you something. As far as 5G goes, if you're not going to move, you can get things to harmonize it, okay, to a certain degree, which we do already. But the thing is this: the best option in the world is to go where there's not 5G, where there's 3G, or go out to the country. Because remember something, all these satellites that are firing 3G down to planet Earth, they're only firing them at heavily dense populated areas because it's too expensive. You know, unless you live in a larger concentrated populated area, they're not going to spend the money to put a satellite up to shoot 5G down, because they won't. So if you're living out in the country, you know, that's the best place for you. Or if you're living in a low populated area, or better still, go to Mexico and move there where they have 3G, and they're not going to be making that into 5G for probably 20 years. I guarantee that 15, 20 years. And by then there'll be no 5G, because so many people will have actually passed on from diseases from the 5G that there's going to be a revolution against this. So then we're going to see a wipeout. I mean, over in Europe, I forget, was it in the Netherlands? They were showing on YouTube, and the whole city, they went out, the whole town went out, and they just knocked down all the 5G towers and destroyed them and said, get out of our city. Now, the reality is that we could do the same thing, except I don't know if you could get away with it in the United States, because they won't mess around with you down there, because that's where the Federal Reserve is. That's where all the power hangs out. So,
Well, since your brother's online, Dr. Marcel Wolf, with respect to protecting yourself against non-native EMF, if I were to build, like, say, a metal building, and then block off all the entryways, like the windows with screening, and insulate it with carbon and everything else, how effective would that be in a 5G world? Or would I end up turning that into a microwave oven?
Once you've completely blocked it off, you have to remember frequency is like water. It'll find the path of least resistance. So even if there's just a small area that you actually haven't put some type of, shield or protection, it'll bleed through. And what will happen is, if you create that Faraday cage and there are, possible breaches where it can leak in, it'll enhance it now that it's in metal. So you want to make sure that it's 100% blocked off. If it is, the other thing you have to consider is that we also need exposure to those healthy frequencies, right? Earth frequencies. You know that they was an experiment, actually, a professor in California actually put students inside a mu metal cage, so completely blocked off. And she had them hooked up. Of course, these are humans, not rats. And so they didn't want to risk their lives. Had them hooked up to different monitoring devices, EKG, and so on and so forth. And within a matter of seconds, they had to cancel the experiment because they were literally falling apart emotionally and physically, and also risk actually even heart damage. So, yeah, you can do that sort of thing, but make sure that you're getting exposure to the healthy frequencies, or you will all of a sudden notice that you're, becoming more depressed. And that's what happened to them. They immediately felt more depression. And so this whole, it sort of links into, the reason why depression is going through the roof right now, because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're not getting exposure to the sun. We're not, grounding. We're wearing rubber and plastic. We're insulating ourselves from all of those positive energies. So keep that in mind, that if you're going to, isolate yourself from the exposure of negative stuff, make sure that you're getting the correct exposure to the, native frequencies as well.
Well, on that note, in 2019, Bill Gates has reported to try to spray the skies with a chemical that will block the sun. If he's successful, and he's blocking our red rays and the rays that we need for hemoglobin production in our body on the chromophores of the skin, if he's able to block sunlight, would the Bioptron kind of bioremediate that if we were to purchase one?
So the Bioptron has something called, there's 4 characteristics. It's called polarized, low energy, incoherent, and polychromatic. Polychromatic just means that it has all the colors. Low energy is because we don't need intensity. Most of the energies that we're exposed to, as I said earlier, 0.5 to 300 hertz are low intensity. And polarization is the major factor because it actually enables this particular light has the ability to take chaos and make it coherent, which is absolutely incredible. Um, and so you can think of that in any aspect, whether it's depression or your blood sugar or any of these factors that we're you know having problems with regards to our health. Taking chaos and making it coherent, that's pretty amazing in itself. So it's energy and information that helps to restore the body back into balance, and it's restoring also that energy flow. Actually, normally what we'll do is when somebody comes, for instance, we'll actually pull out the pendulum and find out if they're blocked at one or both feet. Most people are blocked at one, if not both. And then we can go, up the chakras, starting with the root, and find out what their energy levels are. And of course, the wider and the faster it spins, the more energy there is. A lot of people are blocked at a lot of, the different chakras. And just by simply shining the full spectrum polarized light on the bottom of the feet, of course, it's got to be bare skin. It's not going to work through clothing. Um, Within about anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes, the flow of energy is unblocked. And you have to think again, like I said, think of frequencies of energy as water. And so that flow at the feet, where it was blocked, it's like a dam. And so all of the pools downstream in that river are going to be low. Once you break the dam, all of the pools, the different chakras, are all back into balance. And it'll remain that way for 1 8-minute session exposed to this technology. The enhancements in terms of your health last 14 to 24 hours, increasing microcirculation by 47%. That was with the full spectrum light. Now with the polarized light, I'm sure it's got to be even better than that. So yeah, to answer your question, the bioptron light is definitely going to help. And there's other things as well. You know, um, whether it's deep tissue or whether it's tapping or whether it's qigong, meditation, all of these
It's
things.
self care.
But
It's
but they have
self care.
yeah, they have to be. You have to do these things on a daily basis.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
you want to create the perfect day for yourself. Gentle, loving steps. Caller, if you want, you can call back. We have one. We have a caller. I'd like to take them, and then if you want, caller, you can call right back. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead.
Hi, Darrell.
Hi.
Is this Dr. Darrell?
Yes, it is.
This is Faye from Golden.
Hi,
I'm
Faye.
looking at your glasses. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Can hear you loud and
Okay.
clear.
I'm looking at your glasses, and I wear glasses myself.
Hmm.
Now, what size would somebody get to cover their glasses and have the ones like you're wearing over top?
Um, the glasses we have will fit for you, and they'll fit right over top of your glasses.
No matter the size of your glasses?
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll fit over it. We've had so many people buy these and put them right over their glasses.
Because your brother just next that's speaking right now, I don't think they would cover his glasses.
Marcel,
He's wearing large glasses.
Marcel,
Yep.
Yeah, Marcel.
would you
Yeah.
like
Yes.
to talk?
Yep. For sure.
Sure.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see right now, I'm actually wearing the titanium um, Tesla lightwear because they fit best over my glasses. I mean, this company just basically came out with this product, and hopefully soon they'll have something like clip-ons, and they've got different plastic style rims that are look pretty cool. But yeah, it's basically the same hyperpolarized lens that we're using in the bioptron light. It's actually, I don't know if you're familiar with Tesla toroidal, Fibonacci, solfeggio, and also the golden ratio, which is referred to in nature as the um, highest organizing waveform known as perfection. So that's pretty incredible. And we just are really looking forward to actually getting, as we were saying earlier, we're looking doing some studies to confirm just how profound these glasses are going to be in terms of balancing the body's energies.
And not just that, when you wear these, your energy is going to increase. We know that it has a direct effect on the brain, the nervous system, the thyroid, the parathyroid, the pineal. Uh, I'll tell you right now, people that have had headaches, I mean, you should not be working on a computer. If you work on computers or you're on computers a lot, then you should not be doing it unless you own these. You know, you can get blue blockers, but they're only blocking like 70%. And you know what? And the thing is that what these glasses do is they don't block. They harmonize the frequencies to give you even more healing frequencies to really harness light and to really bring in a concentrated natural healing effect. So that's really the big thing. You know, we've had people that have had headaches and, you know, we get them to increase their water, do the nutritional things, but the glasses really made the big difference with them because now you're harmonizing the incandescent lighting, the computers, the cell phones, the TVs, everything that we're using today that's playing against us.
I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did see you at the airport and you had them there. So do you wear them outside all the time, Darrell?
I wear them not outside like in the daylight because we want daylight sun to directly go into our eyes. And we do. I'll do sun gazing every morning when I can for at least 20 minutes. I won't wear these glasses outside, but I will wear them at the mall, anything that's got to do with an office, anything that's got to do with artificial lighting, alien frequencies, then we're gonna wear these things. So, you know, if I go to a movie, Faye, I gotta tell you, even take these to the movies, man, you feel so relaxed. There is so much blue light coming off, even in the movies. And then think about this one. How many cell phones are there in a movie with 500 people?
Well, that's true.
Okay.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I am on my computer too much.
Well, listen, if you could, Faye, could you please put a scarf around your neck? You know, because the thyroid is only 1.5 centimeters below the skin. And I'm telling you, if you don't wear a scarf, like what I wear is I keep it down on my computer. It's a little silk kind of round thing. I just pull it over my head and it's all colorful. And I travel with that and I wear it all the time. You cannot do that. You know what? Why do you think thyroid problems are blowing through the roof? Watch people who work on computers or on their computers a lot, or they have their cell phone right here, and the blue light off the computer, the cell phone, the TV, watching TV, it's blowing their thyroids out.
I see. Wouldn't the glasses help though in itself?
Well, the glasses are going to help coming through the eyes to help to support the thyroid. But what does it cost to wear a turtleneck?
Oh, I mean, I can put anything on my neck.
Yeah, then please do that because it will make a difference, okay?
Okay.
And also, check out the fulvic eye drops that we have. You know,
I have that, Darrell.
What do you think?
I use that.
Okay, good.
I've been using your eye drops.
Okay.
But I've got a problem with my eyes.
Yeah.
But I have to get checked with an ophthalmologist.
I know nobody wants to hear this, but nothing's going to protect you except these glasses. Okay,
Yeah,
blue blockers don't. These
to
are
address the source of the problem, you know, with regards to spending the time on the computer.
yeah.
So
Make sure that
if
your
I
computer
ordered
experience is as
just
healthy as possible.
a pair of glasses
Yeah.
from you,
Yeah.
like you're wearing,
Like the Tesla Lightwear, yes.
that would cover my glasses. And,
Yes, it would.
I would be fine.
And if it didn't, Face, send them back. But they will. They'll cover them.
I see. Okay. Good. Thanks a lot, Darrell.
You're welcome, Faye. Have a beautiful day, okay?
You too.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. So do we have another caller?
No, we're good.
We're good. Okay. All right. So, look, you know what? Most people don't want to hear this, but the more technology you play with, the more you're playing with your health, unless you become educated on how to restore the natural flow of nature. Marcel, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, there was actually Victor Schomburg, who actually studied nature to the nth degree. And both him and his grandson came up with a quote: the best that we can do is to comprehend, copy, and I added, cooperate with nature. Anything else is an exercise in futility, and at best, maybe a learning experience. So those technologies that best mimic nature, example, the Bioptron light, um, are the ones that you want to, seek out. Whether it's an air purifier, water purifier, those things which actually bring you back as close to nature as possible are the ones that you want to actually bring into your life, into your daily routine, so that you have all of the advantages as possible, as much as possible in your favor.
Yes, and understand everybody, please. Just please try to take this in. A scientific breakthrough is not a health breakthrough. A scientific breakthrough is not a health breakthrough. Oh my gosh, scientific breakthrough today. We can now, you know what, and understand something. If you want to know about frequencies, go get your hip replaced. Put in some metal. Put even titanium in there. Okay, now you've got an antenna in you to pick up all these frequencies. And understand something. There is no such thing as a non-toxic hip replacement, knee replacement, shoulder replacement. There is no such thing. Just like now, they won't let you suture yourself up when you get an inguinal hernia, which you should do. Okay, when you get an inguinal hernia, you need to suture it. But they won't let you do that unless you demand it or go someplace they still do it. They want to put in wire mesh. Marcel, why don't you just tell everybody what happens when you put the wire mesh in your pelvis, so because of your inguinal hernia, or you put any type of metallic anything in the body?
All right. So people have probably heard of dirty electricity. So I'll give you an example. So where you've got mesh in your body, or you've got a metal artificial part.
How about Marcel? How about the wire? How about the wires in the bra as well? Let's bring it all in.
Whatever you have next to your body, in your body, it's going to attract the ambient frequencies. What are the ambient frequencies? They are cell phone, GPS, Wi-Fi, television, radio. This is why people in the past that had a lot of mercury fillings thought they were hearing voices. Those voices were actually radio stations. So it definitely has an impact on your health. It's not you know there is a plus and a minus, and so this is what you have to consider. If you're going to do these things, know that like I said, it's going to act like an antenna, and you're going to have all that dirty electricity, but now it's actually in your body or on your body. Okay, so we need to be, again, mindful about what we're doing and how we're doing it.
So when you think that your relationship with your wife or your husband is dying out, you're probably just totally loading yourself down with negative frequencies and blowing your whole nervous system and brain out and draining yourself, so you have a terrible relationship. You ever notice that, you feel moody, or you feel depressed, or you feel upset, or you feel angry, and there was no reason for it? Well, yes, it's invisible and it's deadly. And understand something. Are you ready to get divorced? Okay, over something you can't see? Well, it's happening. Okay, let me tell you something. I've done 25,000 emotional consultations, and I've counseled so many couples. And you know what? The first thing we do is, we're gonna help them with their minds, because your thoughts are everything, and your beliefs are everything. So there's going to be some toxic beliefs in there, but you got to go into the environment. They say go inward first, right? Well, yeah, you got to go inward and see who you really are, that authentic self. But you better take a look at the environment around you, because the environment around you is turning you into something that you never wanted to be, which is an imbalanced, disharmonic frequency, because we are light energy beings. And frequencies will affect us more than anything else. And they'll affect us at the speed of what? The speed of light. Marcel?
Right. Yeah, and we were just saying, earlier in this presentation how frequency is 100 times more efficient than chemical signaling. So there's a good and a minus to that. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that those frequencies you're being exposed to and your family is going to be exposed to are native frequencies and not alien to the body. So change the energy, change the manifestation of the mass. It's another little quote from the gentleman who didn't have a lot of time for his hair, but he came up with some pretty good thoughts for us. So, yeah.
All right. Is there anything else before we close off, Marcel, that you would like to leave the audience with, leave all our viewers with? And understand, everybody out there, if you've got any other suggestions, what you'd like to see on energy medicine, I'm sure that Dr. Marcel Wolfe will be definitely there, because he's one of the most highly trained people in energy medicine like we're talking about here today. And I can say that because I know he is. All right. Okay. So, send your suggestions in, and we didn't get a lot of questions today, but think about the questions that you'd like to ask for the next show in 2 weeks from now. Really dig in there, and don't be afraid to challenge Marcel or challenge me, because this is your show. Let's unearth this stuff. If you don't believe something we say, then you know what? I want to hear from you. Okay? If you want to know how to fix your life or have a better relationship with yourself and your family, this is all part of it. So understand that. Do not underestimate the power of frequency. Marcel, I'm going to let you take over for now. And what would you like to say to everyone?
Well, talking about underestimating it, you can actually take somebody who, if we had them, say, out in nature, out in the woods, away from all the Wi-Fi and all the negative alien frequencies, and tested their blood, it would look pretty pristine, each cell having a glow, a hue around it, and no rouleau, and no coagulation. Then if we were to expose them just to a couple of minutes of being on a cell phone, or exposing themselves to a laptop, the difference is like night and day. And so it literally can happen within a matter of seconds. So Darrell was saying earlier, it's at light speed. Matter of fact, every chemical reaction that occurs in the human body, it has to have light to actually trigger that event. So there's over 100,000 chemical reactions that happen every second, and none of them would happen without light. But it has to be the right form of light. As we say, it's got to be the right food, the right water, the right air, and so we can help with that. We want people to actually to be able to have the best lives possible, and so it's a matter of looking at this and going back, to what has been proven, and now it's being proven with quantum physics and with all of these quantitative measuring devices that we have. It's adding it now to it more credibility. And as you've seen, even the Canadian Cancer Society is jumping on board. So it's time for all of us to actually get up to speed in terms of understanding how profound frequency is for the quality of life, for the quality of family life, work life, etc. If we want to be the best that we can be, we have to look at this whole frequency language and understand it as soon as possible.
Thank you, Marcel. And for those of you, just to let you know, coming up for us pretty soon here, we're going to have our structured water units. We're going to be combining them with our essential oils. If you want to talk about high frequency, and we're going to be putting a special on, so watch for that. And we'll see you on the next Energy Medicine show. And understand something. It's invisible and it's deadly, or it's invisible and it's healing you. God bless. Have a beautiful day, and remember something. Energy medicine is here to stay. Take care.